Yo, welcome back to TeamViza TV interview series, season 6, episode 2. I'm your host tonight, Visa Boy, special guest in the building. Son on the soil, Destiny man. Let me get on to Destiny same time. Tell us if it's you know what I mean? Now this gentleman been around since I was a youth. He's here to tell a story. I call it the country bookie story. Let's look at the TeamViza TV interview series, season 6, episode 2, Rick Country Bookie Davis. My brother, listen.
Medea.
Everything good?
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
That's it, sir.
Listen.
Ade, tired, humble.
Right.
Yeah, now we go.
Welcome to TeamViza TV interview series, season
Yeah,
6, episode 2, and your host tonight, Visa Boy. What Rick mood is like right now?
Yeah, man. Good vibes, good vibes.
Good vibes.
Yeah, man.
I want to jump straight into it, right?
Tell me.
Yeah, I see a venting the other day. With the little hiccup thing with the borrowed the other day.
Right.
First time in my life I ever see him alive.
Right. Tell me.
No, let me talk about it, you know what I mean? I don't think I'll hiccup considering the borrowed celebration with promoters probably.
The thing about it is that in the business,
Right.
we as promoters, I mean, we gamble.
Right.
It's like you're investing, hoping and praying that everything will be right, you know. It was a bit unfortunate how that whole scene play off, because it gave Point the opportunity to really come out at the COVID situation as a winner now.
Right.
But I mean, the borough did what they could have done, but the higher authorities put chosan in the engine then, you know, and they had to pull up, and we end up the casualties of the whole equation now.
Oh.
So I had to come forward and say what I said, because they had some players, some people that was putting the thumbs on the scale, you know, and it wasn't nice, because at the end of the day, everybody from Point 14 and we trying to develop this product, which is Borody, and you can't be against it, because it means that you're against the people.
Right.
You understand? So it was a situation, but I mean, you pick up your pieces and you go again, and you see how we did. We turn that adversity into a success by taking the same thing that Point was giving trouble for us to pull off, and we carried Tobago 2 months after, and it was a tremendous success, you know. So that's what this business is about.
Okay.
You know, you take adversity and you turn it into something positive.
But for the viewers who will be looking on, right?
Right.
Can you tell the TV that you a little about yourself? Who is this guy still on this chair here?
Well, a humble youth, you know. Born and grown in Destiny. I mean, playing cards under the house by the Hernandez, playing football down on by the community center, going on the pitch lake, Destiny beat small goal, you know. A humble youth. And over the years I try to remain that way now. Keep connected with the ground, because at the end of the day, the ground is the people. The ground is the masses. So I always keep connected to the ground and build my business around making sure that the people on the ground, you know, feel the energy and the vibes of the promotion. So really and truly, I grew up in Destiny. I went to Clifton Hill, that Clifton Hill Primary, which kind of gave me the Point vibes.
Right.
And then I went to Naparima College, and then I did Technical Institute, and then I started in the field of work. I did some stuff with a college in Canada, and just a humble youth,
right,
who just fell in love with promotion at age 16 and never, that was one story.
16 years?
Yeah, I chose my first party in Lake Asphalt. When I did a party inside a summer, and I remember C. Wiley coming and shake my hand, because he said, I'm the first promoter that ever gave a contract to sign.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, we've been around a while, and you know, we just continue to evolve as the market changes, and to keep ourselves relevant. because enough people come and go on.
Right.
And we stand up through it, you know, just making sure that we there to defend what we love, you know.
But Rick, you in the game long time.
Yeah, man.
As I say, I was in conversation with somebody, right? Prior to this interview here tonight. I was letting you know, say Rick Davis is one of the guys who was there from since day one.
Yeah, man.
The same way how it is we young and we doing the thing.
Right.
He was young and he was doing his thing,
man.
man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, but anything stood out that make you decide I'm going to promotion?
What used to happen, my sister used to give lessons downstairs by me. And a lot of children, nice children at the time, used to come, but I used to send them to lessons and stuff like that. And we used to have a Christmas party for the lessons every year.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually used to be the DJ playing the music. And I used to kind of put the Christmas party together, and I used to catch a flavor now.
Right.
And everybody used to always want to know when we keeping our next one. So I sit down and I say, you know what, because I was always business minded now. I say, you know what, if I could find a way to turn these parties into something that could pay me, it could make a little sense now. Right?
And at that age, you was...
And at that age, yeah. I was probably 14 when I was doing that.
Okay.
So by the time I reached 16, I was able to throw my first event with the funding from an in-law that lived abroad.
Right.
Give me some money and said, make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And when he see what I do, yeah, from that he started supporting me and I started to build, you know. A lot of things we're responsible for, but people don't know we're responsible for.
Right.
A lot of things we had our hands in that we developed, and we humble. We don't really need to be the forefront of things.
But this is one of the reasons why you see I wanted you on this project.
Yeah.
Right? So people can have an insight of who is contributing
Yeah,
to
man.
this. Because I don't know, trust my tell you, I on the ground as a youth today.
Right.
Everybody is country bookie, Borode, Carnival, country bookie, boat ride,
Right.
America, Tobago.
Right.
But they don't know the man himself.
Right. So if you went to Baywatch on Western Beach, that was country bookie.
Right.
If you was a part of the whole lake splash and the whole Sunday school lake experience, country bookie played a major part in that. I mean, we've done things up the islands in Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
We did a lot of stuff in Grenada. I did 15, 20 parties in Grenada. Carried Destra, carried Saucy, even Dwayne and Trooper went
Right.
up there in glory. You know, carry Shal, carry Umba. You know, so we did a lot of business in Grenada. Well, Tobago these days, we hanging in Tobago a lot. We've just done stuff in Miami. We have New York right now under lockdown. You know,
New York, make up for yourself.
I just came back in from New York like 2 days ago.
Right.
We had a phenomenal run. We had a boat ride where we had to leave people on the shore. We had a backyard that was resurrecting at the Point 14 party and the Point 14 energy. We had a hand in Point 14 Point Day,
Mm-hmm.
which was probably the biggest point day ever. Probably over 2,000-3,000 people in Seaview
That
Park.
was right before the Labor Day?
Yeah, that was the week before the Labor Day, the day after our boat ride.
Okay.
You know, and we get ready for Tobago Carnival. You know, so we keep ourselves busy.
Right.
And not letting too much out. For the first time, Country Bookie will be in Port of Spain for Carnival 2024 doing Juve. You know? So we kind of turning it up, paying attention to what we love, you know, making sure that our eyes cross and our T's dot.
Right.
Because we have people that are very passionate about the Country Bookie brand, just as we are. We have masqueraders that will follow us till the end of the year because they believe in the brand.
Right.
And we never want to disappoint. I don't want you to ever come to something expecting the Country Bookie experience that Country Bookie is hosting, and you don't get that. You must get that and more.
Facts.
Yeah, that's how we roll. Yeah.
I don't know Country Bookie. Yeah. Well, the name behind Country Bookie.
Right. So I used to, as a youth man, the same people that started the funding of the parties when I was 16 years. They used to give me money to buy records for them. So at the time, Signal to Noise and Chow, they had a place that you could have gone and they just land back from foreigner record store and they playing all the new records. And they pop your hand and they give you a copy based on what you hear and you like. But it has something about Port of Spain people, and I'm not chewing down nobody, but they have some things about Port of Spain people that feel that South people not too bright upstairs now.
Not too update.
Yeah. So in dealing with Port of Spain over the years, I started to realize that. And it is play dead to catch Kobo alive. Right?
Still
so,
this time,
well, from since back then, you play dead to catch Kobo alive. So that is why that was the advent of the country bookie name. Right. Because people feel because they come from South, is a country bookie. Yeah, and they could try to and play the game now. You know? So I say, you don't call me a country bookie, I call myself country bookie.
So you take from the forefront.
Yeah, and that's how the name come about. And I mean, people, when you tell them, started to hear country bookie, people started like, why you call yourself a country bookie? But then they realize country bookie is more than just a person, but it's a movement. It's a movement of point people creating what I term the rural revolution. Because we transforming this southern peninsula and the whole entertainment industry and the way how South people do business. We revolting against what the idea of South people is and becoming now a revolution and a movement to do things the proper way. So that's how we have country bookie, and the tagline is the rural revolution.
Oh,
yeah,
put respect on country bookie. Yeah, because I wanted to ask you.
Right.
How do you come up with the names for your band, for Borough and Carnival and these?
I think it's just Jah. You know? I believe that I got a gift from upstairs that kind of just guided me and guide my energy. The people in the industry, they say Rick is the concept boss. You know? Because every time you come with something, it's always different. It's always outside of the box. You know? So with me, it has just come to me. And if I tell you I have concepts rest down, just waiting to Lego 1, Lego 2, Lego 3, I had things in the bag.
You know when they catch my attention, eh?
Yeah.
You see when they came with this bedrock?
I'm gonna make a bedrock.
I'm gonna make a bedrock.
Right.
And it's the Flintstones.
Yeah, the Flintstone team.
Outfit
Kinda,
and,
yeah.
I see, but where country bookie is behind these names?
Why?
Somebody who dealing with that for you?
No, this has just come to me. Right? I don't know. Is that just it's just an inspiration.
Right.
Because it have a certain amount of creativity that dwells within me. And I just know something is a hit when it comes to me. And it just can't come on my brain, and it just have me thinking about how to twist it and how to, you know, to turn it over, how to really roll it out now. You know, one of the great things that come to me just recently was this thing we're doing for Tobago Carnival. Yeah. Operation
October?
Yeah, in October 27 to 29th. But the truth is the 28th. So we do some business in Tobago. It was nice. In 2023, the dynamics changed a bit, and I wasn't prepared to deal with that change. So we decided that we're not going to partner with the people that we partner with, and I really was kind of sitting out Tobago. So in sitting out Tobago, somebody came to me that had a interaction with the army. And I was like, okay, the army is a good vibe and thing. So I had this concept which we were playing on, you know, to really roll it out. And when I told the officer from the army, he was like, first he was saying like get 2 or 3 other concepts. And then when I told him the concept, he was like, Lord, they like fucking the army. You understand? So when I say groundhog, he was like, if I tell you something, the army favorite meat is pig, it's pork.
It's pork.
And we going with that day. So Operation Groundhog, which is where we heading to Tobago and the thing, is something that is exciting to me. Because this is the convention of all hogs. Small hog, medium hog, big hog on the streets of Tobago. You know, so I mean the concept just come and as I say it's just jam.
Right.
You know, it's just
27 to the 29.
Yeah, that's the 27 to the 29.
So you can find country Bookie in Tobago.
In Tobago. Yeah.
27 to the 29 Tobago Carnival.
Yeah, man.
When you're going across Tobago with your whole team and everything, you just rent the boat at the airport you play?
Well, we have a way that we just get things moving in country Bookie, you know, because I mean we make good friends along the way.
Right.
We have good partners, good sponsors, good everything. So we have a way that we just get things done. So we don't rent it, but we just have a large contingent. Yeah.
As you mentioned that, how important building relationships is?
Well, that's the essence of this business. Because, I mean, if you're on the road with us, you would realize I could call you by name. I could call you by name. I could call you by name. I come and take a wine with you. I bring in something for you to drink. Because I believe that in country Bookie, we don't have patrons. What we have is a family.
Right.
And if you have this family and you're on the road, or you're in a party, you're going to look out for that person. So if you find this person overdoing it with alcohol, you say, hey, come, stay close to me.
That's
and
somebody,
you help them up on your
like somebody I know. We both know.
Right. Yeah. So that's how we operate in our team. Yeah, we consider everybody that's part of country Bookie, pumping with us, family.
Family.
Not patrons. So relationships are very important.
Right.
Because that determines that the person that you are based on how you treat your people. You know? So for me, I look at that as a big thing.
No, going deeper.
Right.
Going deep.
Go deep now.
No. As you mentioned earlier, you promoted at the age of 16.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you learn the business in black and white, the paperwork?
Right.
Usually I ask these questions because I know a lot of people might want to find out, to kind of feed off on certain things that they might be able to share.
Right. So this business is a trial and error business.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time is shame on them. Somebody do something to you in the business, you lost your money or whatever. After that is shame on you. The second time, the third time is shame on you because you have to learn from your mistakes and you don't make them again now. Right? So in this business, you're going to shoot and you're going to miss. But if you shoot in a direction and you miss, you're not going to shoot in that direction again. You're going to change your game and try to refine. So what you're seeing now is a refining of a process of investment and losses and paying dues in the industry over a number of years. Now we understand what it is. And just how you said, you know country Bookie from since you're a little boy, it have people that grew up with us and have seen the evolution of the brand and will swear by the brand because they know where we came from and they understand the vision to know where we're going. You see? So the advice I could give to anybody that is in the business, you have to have a thick belly. You have to have a stomach to be in this business. Because the road is not a smooth road.
Don't forget the capital too. That is the thick belly, you have to have the capital.
But that's what I'm telling you. And it comes from why I say thick belly is because you're going to lose along the way. 2023 was not a good year for country Bookie inside our borough. We lost some substantial money in a car show that we had.
Okay.
We lost some substantial money in the changeover from Liverpool to Frisco Junction. We lose some money on the Wednesday night where we did the ladies' party. But I mean, we had the glory on the road.
Who was responsible for the loss?
No, and the losses basically was, now we're going deep.
Yeah.
And I mean, people are going to believe that I had no water to put in my mouth. right? The problem in Point 14 is that Point 14 don't do business. They just do, I just say, is a kind of glamour, glitz and glamour and whatever. Because I saw some things happening with some artists which made the definition of country bookie for all the people that came into Point to do business with Point promoters really took Point 14 for country bookies. Because I saw certain artists perform on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, in same venue, Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, free on the road when they have a party on the Thursday and stuff like that. And charging everybody thousands of dollars.
Wow.
And people signed up for that. And what it resulted in, everybody lost their money. And the artists pack up their money in a briefcase and leave Point 14. So when everybody said this was the mother of all borrow and everything gonna be so grand and stuff like that, nobody made money. And it was because promoters in Point see everybody as competition and they miss the mission. You understand? And borrow is a mission and not a competition. And that's where the thing just get disconnected. Because when in the past, it never used to be like that. Because if I have Marshall Montano, I'm not going to go after Marshall Montano for next night in the same zone. You understand? If I have Bungie Garland, I'm not going to go after Bungie Garland in the same zone. When certain people had negotiate and you move from a $20,000 or a $25,000 payday, and because of the demand, because Jack, Jill, John trying to get the same artist that you already locked, and they keep saying, hey, listen, I locked this with you, but I had to move it, you know, because again X or Y or Z, and they realize your cost just spiraling, and the cost that you was getting the artist for initially when you started the conversation is double based on the fact that other promoters trying to get them. Then it means that at the end of the day, nobody makes money but the artist.
Right.
You understand? And my thing is that, personally, as a promoter, my position is, I have a problem with the way how the artists in Trinidad and Tobago are treating with the promoters, right? And I'll tell you this. Artists now have these exorbitant fees, right? They charging, let's say, $30,000, $40,000. You have a little small thing, you reach out to artists, the artists probably, I mean, they invested in themselves and understand. And I could see it because I've been on the two sides of the spectrum. I've been a manager of artists, so I know what it takes, and I've been a promoter. So I know it from the two sides of the spectrum. So I used to be successful at a time doing stuff like that because I could have reached an equilibrium between the artist and the promotion, and everybody would have been in a win situation. But now, that equilibrium no longer exists because every time a promoter goes to an artist, unless it is a massive event that the artist sees as strategic to be a part of, they call for some ridiculous money. But if a next artist have an event and they say, I will you come and do a thing for me, they come and sing for free or practically free. So what they're doing now, they're eliminating the promoters, they're not giving the promoters an opportunity. But really and truly, when you look at it, when, I don't want to call no names to single out any artist, but when that artist was on his way up, who money was invested in that artist by putting them in a show where they're going to build their career and build their repertoire and build their experience? Who money was really invested in that artist when they were coming up? I had React, I would have bring the Charles Marshalls, the Patrice Roberts, everybody, the Swappy, everybody in the industry. And in many instances, I take a hit. I didn't make no money, but I was able to pay them, and everybody was, and the fellowship was good there.
Right.
But now, as a lot of these artists turn superstars, they forget whose investments along the way would have been responsible for the success of their career. Wow. And they make it very difficult for the promoters now who, well, things get nice, the business start to get nice and money start to spend in the business. They become their own promoters. And they have the artist susu. So today I show my thing, you come and sing for me. Tomorrow, you show your thing, I come and sing for you. But a promoter call you, and unless it's something big like Army Fete or some big all-inclusive bedrock or something like that, the fees that you're calling for makes it unreachable.
Right.
So my thing is now, I am not wrapping no event around no artist, around no DJ. Because the principle is that I'm wrapping everything around a brand, around a concept.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the move that all promoters, and I'm saying this to say, all promoters should start to think that way. Build your brand, build your concept. I mean, the artists and they do their thing and they do the thing nice, all well and good. But we have to understand that we are the people that took this train and made the investments in building the entertainment industry. And they can't push us out like that.
Right.
By pricing themselves out of budgets for events.
You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. No, you see, no. It's since it is we on the manager, the artist, everything topic, right?
Right.
And maybe something that you wish to discuss. But the word is you responsible for artists rise and artists fall. You know what I'm speaking about? You know? They say you was the person. I don't know if you wish to touch on it or move along from it.
That's a simple situation.
Right.
Right? It's a simple situation. We talking about Prophet Benjamin. That is my brother. That is my brethren. I mean, you would have seen Prophet in Lake Splash, where he was booted. Right. He come with a chicken in a cage and he sing, they have boneless wings in Kentucky and whatever. What kind of, I can sing the songs word for word.
Right.
I mean, when somebody brought him to me and said, Rick, you had to get this youth a play because he bad and he's one of us, he from Point and whatever. And I say yes. And I say yes because at the time I was hearing Ola Vantil. I was hearing, don't you know, Sasha. I was hearing the Chini reggae on the rise. But it didn't have somebody from Point in the mix. Everybody was not.
Right.
So I call him and I say, Prophet, check me by a fella called Dwayne Blades, DJ Dwayne, who was part of Supreme Sound System at the time. Right. So check me downstairs by thing and bring what you have. And that night he sing, he ting, whatever thing, and I realized he have a repertoire because he had a book of songs. And I said, that's the only time I would have picked up somebody and work with them. And I gave him some instructions. Gave me about 5 free shows, and after that, we will take over the industry. Right? And I did 5 strategic free shows. And by the time we came around, I lived to see Chinese Laundry, Chow, called me and said, Rick, put on your radio Sunday and listen because something that never happened going to happen. And I said, what's that, Chow? He said, just put it on and listen. And there was a song called Pretty Boy, which was the first release that we had put out. And it got lost. Right? And we put out a second song called Coming From Maruga. And at the time, my brethren CYB and our next brethren who in Pennsylvania now, a fella called Big Mac, they was doing Louis Culture in Maruga in Lambs. And C. Wiley, I tell C. Wiley, I'm giving you a song for the Maruga dance to make a dance get through. And I give him coming from Maruga. And that became the anthem because they started to beat that song on the radio to promote that dance.
Right.
And people from Maruga saw it as the Maruga national anthem. And that song gone.
gone.
Right. And that song made people recognize that Prophet Benjamin sing Pretty Boy.
Okay.
And what Shaw was explaining to me was that he had a reggae condong. He had a condong on a Sunday evening. He was explaining to me for the first time a song that wasn't on the condong enter as number one.
As number one.
As number one. You understand? So that was, so we built the thing over some years. Right? We run for about 4 to 5 years. Every single weekend we book. Local, international. We did some combinations with Bungie. We did combinations with different things. We get into things. We end up with a band. We had a nice run. Right? The thing started to thin out. Now I had an arrangement with where I had invested X or Y or Z. That I would have gotten X or Y or Z from everything I was doing. But the thing started to thin out. And it became a little difficult mathematically. I mean, I have my job. So that's like a side hustle for me now. You understand? But that was Prophet's mainstay. So it reached a point where he couldn't afford the funds that I would have needed to make my involvement in the thing viable. So that was the grounds on it. It wasn't a bad blood to see anybody robbing anybody or whatever. It was just that the money was no longer there to be able to pay everybody.
Right.
So I kind of parted ways, but I remained helping them with bookings and whatever. But I mean, I started to pursue other things now to fill the gap that financials would have been catering for. You know, so that would have resulted in things. So I mean, whatever happened in my departure, I mean, I had no control over it. I mean, when we parted, it was well wishes, brother, whoever thing it had sometimes, and me had gone out and hung with him in an event that he was doing, however. But I mean, it is what it is, you know.
But look at the same situation and ask yourself, you know, probably retry.
Well, strange enough, when there was a resurfacing of the artist in, I think it could be 2018 or 2017, with Betty Cat.
Right.
Miss Betty Cat bite me or whatever thing, and that whole thing. That was when I had taken a retry.
Alright.
Yeah.
And what didn't work out?
And
we didn't seem to understand the artist at that time.
no, well, what had happened was that at that time, whilst I came back in the management, it was now a team of us.
Okay.
And there were individuals in the team that I felt were not, didn't share the vision that I shared.
Right.
In fact, their vision probably may have been larger than my vision.
Right.
And their approach was different from my approach. But I know what worked and what will work. But they had their ideas. So I gave way to them to manifest their ideas, and I just came back out.
Right.
You know, even though I had monies invested in the whole thing, I just,
Let's pull back.
and I just, you know, I gave them the opportunity to manifest what they saw that I wasn't seeing.
With all this work and ethic and everything that's going on, you under management?
If I under management?
Do you have a manager?
No, I don't have a manager. I don't need one.
You just deal with everything on your own?
Yeah, I just do my thing.
No. This is TeamViza TV, right?
Right.
And as my mom implemented to me a couple of seasons ago, that, you know, we here to give people the flowers and the face now, you know?
Right.
To say, well, congratulations on all the achievements that you sustained today.
Right.
I want to tell you congratulations. Because I know you've been putting in the work.
And I appreciate
right?
that.
I want to wait till that time happens or whatever and say, well, you know, Cameron Davis, he was good.
Yeah.
I wrote tell it.
Right. But the thing about it is that we now start.
Right.
You know.
Well, now start?
We now start. Because the vision that I have for this thing is they say you had a dream big.
Facts.
Yeah, you need to dream big. If you're swimming in a pond and the pond start to get too small, you have to find an next pond. So you have to continually seek that growth. You have to continually evolve. You have to see where the market is going and position yourself in front of the line to be able to embrace the changes that are occurring with the industry.
Right.
And what I was explaining to you, that whole thing I was explaining to you with the artisan, that's a change in the industry.
Okay.
And the strategic move to embrace that change that is occurring is going to your brand.
Right.
So whilst promoters would try to now believe that they need to sell a party with a Marshall Montana or Patrice Roberts or Bungie Garden in a case, I would sell it with Operation Groundhog.
If the boss himself, right.
Yeah, so I mean, it's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah, everybody had the role to play in the industry. It's moving arms.
Right.
Yeah, and all you have to do, if you're going to spend $40,000 on an artist, give free food.
This one?
Give free food in the event.
Okay.
Give a little section where a girl could come and fix
No, I hope
food.
they're listening to what you're saying because it's real game you're giving here right now. It's real game you're spitting here right now.
Yeah, let somebody come and fix the face. Let somebody come and get massage. Spend 10,000 out of that 40,000 that they was given and
Well, I
somebody
think it's
come by
marketing
event and
strategies.
yeah,
Go about with your brand.
change the game.
Right. It was rumored on the ground that 2023 Borody till the wheels fall off, right? That I'm the same, you all win the Borody Juve, and then I hear that all they didn't win for some fault.
So yeah. How long we have? Because you talking something that is bacchanal and long winding stories.
You want 15 to go.
Right, so Point 14 have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is that they're not embracing change. Right? If you back it up a little bit, you will see that Port of Spain Juve, Port of Spain Mass now have two locations where people pass. You either go to the stadium or you go to the savannah.
Right.
That came about because there was a phenomenal growth in the number of bands that was on the road and the number of masqueraders that played mass. Because bands used to line up to cross the savannah stage for hours and you could have never crossed. That started happening in Point 14.
Right.
And what I have been preaching to some folks who believe that they need to hold on to that little power that they believe they have. I'm not saying they have it. They believe they have because they may have been doing it for 20 years or whatever. Right? What I was trying to explain to them that there's a growth that is occurring in Point 14 and they need to embrace it and they need to put things in place to facilitate that growth.
Right.
They never listen. I mean, I talk about, I put proposals. The barriers that on the streets at the side, that was something that myself and Mion spoke about, and he implemented it. The marshals that keeps the band moving, that's something that me and Mion spoke about, and he implemented it. And there were people in the past, in Dock of the Bay, I call it the name, there were people in the past that used to take advice. But the people that they have now no longer take advice because they believe they have all the answers.
Okay.
And if you ask them what is a PP truck, they can't tell you because they don't come out at Point 14 to know. If you ask them how many masqueraders does one music truck feed, they can't tell you because they don't know. You understand? So they would put in rules that goes against the masqueraders. So for instance, they allow you one drink truck no matter what the size of your band is. They allow you no PP trucks. So a woman could go in a piece of bush while you're on the road to pee and end up getting raped. Right? They allow you 2 music trucks maximum. right? And if your band with 1,500, 2,000 people, those 2 music trucks have to feed that. In the past, what I did, I used to register 2 bands. Because of the size of my band, I used to register 2 bands and pay 2 set of registration, 2 set of licensing, 2 set of everything to facilitate the dogmatic stance that they took with respect to how they treat with the thing, because they're not listening. And what I did, because there was 1 year we came into point, and there was this guy that ran away from New York and tell his boss that he was running to do something, and he ran away from New York to come and play Juve. And when we reached by courts, you know, they just play all the Jamaican music, right, by Passage and Gaza. So the Gaza started a fight in the Gaza, and it ended up in the gully, which was my band, right? And in the melee, the fella broke his hand, he broke his wrist, and other people was injured. And my band members asked me to not pass down the main road in Point 14. Because at the end of the day, Doka Bay and the authorities that be, they're supposed to have a secure parade route for people that paying masqueraders. And if they can't do that, then we now have to take a decision which is in the best interest of our masqueraders. So $10,000 that they given us as prize money, which I contribute to in that year, which would have been 2. If it's, I would have paid probably 25 or 1,500 or something, I would have contributed 1/3 of the prize money by my registration. Didn't matter to me, because my masqueraders' security and safety and enjoyment for their money that they're spending on the road means more to me than the prize money. So I just love it.
Right.
So, but I pass on the judging point to show them you can't be contributing.
You can't be contributing. Those are very good questions I asked you.
You can do what you want, you can't be contributing.
I wanted this information because it's a lot of people run around with different stories. The story I heard is that one of your truck tire wasn't fit for the road.
No. The reason why they disqualify us, because they say they have a evacuation route, and that we pass on the evacuation route. So anytime you pass down my Atlantic LNG or whatever, they disqualify you. I would have sat with, I don't want to say it specifically, but the politicians, and I would have drafted out a whole expansion of the route, detail, maps, everything. I would have given that to them and tell them, you know what? One of the politicians say, yes, this is perfect, we're going to implement it. We're not going to ask Dr. DB if they want to look at this, we're going to tell them this is what they have to implement. I don't know what happened, what transpired with that. It never got implemented. So we end up in the same bottleneck situation, in the same all bands leaving from the same all bands coming down the same stretch, all bands wherever. So while other people have issues, I go where our masqueraders can stretch out, drink their rum, have a time, come into Point in Glory, win the competition, and go back where we come from.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You ever had an encounter with masqueraders actually? The formula to reach abroad, like when you have events in New York and these things, because how does this feel when you're going to New York to keep an event and your die-hard supporters cannot go across?
Well, you won't believe it, but in 2023, this was one of the largest contingent of Trinidad people that went across to the Labor Day celebration. It's the first time since I've been doing this, and I've been doing this about 9 years. The first time I see so much of people associated with the brand and associated with Point 14 that actually came out to celebrate with us in the events that we had there. So, I mean, everybody going to have their own personal situation, whether you have a visa, whether you have the means to get a visa, whether you have the means to travel and all of that kind of thing. But I'm seeing where there's a movement of people actually following the brand and embracing it and giving us back the love in these territories when they realize, hey, Rick and them come. And the people, the diaspora out there, they now gravitating towards the brand because they now start to understand what we do. We started something in 2020 last year for the first time. So that'll be in 2022. We started something called Point is Alive Weekend.
Right.
And really it kind of highlights the fact that Point is prominent in Brooklyn, in New York City. So we come now and we have on the Friday we have the welcome party, which is a meet and greet. So everybody come and we meet and greet and who ain't see long time. So we have that on the Friday. On the Saturday, we have the Point 14 boat ride, which this year, well, we now sticking to the name Tilt. Because we tilt in New York City, we have in the city. Yeah? So we have Tilt, New York City, and then the Sunday we have Point Day. So it's a whole weekend at Point 14. Yeah. And that has been embraced and they love it too bad. Yeah, man. Building the thing now, man.
No. Home.
Right.
You can't dance abroad.
Tell me.
You're free to dance at yard.
Right.
What going on in Destiny? What going on in Destiny? Before you say, I know you was responsible for a lot of activities in Destiny. As I mentioned earlier, Baywatch.
Yeah.
It had the Savannah.
Yeah.
You to keep the Easter sports and
Yeah.
the thing. And what going on in Destiny? You didn't see the hay ball rolling on the street.
But what is happening in Destiny is what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, what is happening? You know, Trinidad and Tobago is on a slippery slope. And it pains me to remember my boy days and to match it up with the age that I consider when I was a boys. The boys in the village now, what their boy days are like. There's a stark difference between what we as boys knew and what they as boys know today. Right? And it has to do with the Trinidad and Tobago society. You know? A couple of days ago, a dear friend of mine was murdered. Right? And my understanding is that he was murdered because he's a businessman and he didn't want to pay cover tax. And that's the situation that is happening in Trinidad right now. And these are things that you will only believe happening in the movies. But Trinidad society is on a decline. And Destiny is not part of Venezuela or is not part of South. Yeah. Destiny is part of Trinidad and Tobago. So whatever happening in Destiny is an indication of the wider society. I can't get a Julie mango tree off my mango tree.
You can't get one.
I can't get one. The season come, I know when the mango season starts and when it finishes.
So you decided to say the tree still up or the tree cut down?
No, the tree up.
Okay,
because I believe somebody pot turned down somewhere and the child, the only thing they might get to eat for the day is a Julie mango. Right. And I play my part.
But our infrastructure invested in though, so I don't give the youths on them wrong feet and I'm mango if they're hungry.
But why you say that no infrastructure? For years.
It had.
For years, we toiled for our community center. The other day I went to the community center and when I watched the state of the community center, I mean, we get it brand new.
How I went to the community center and it was locked.
How we get?
I couldn't see if it was brand new.
Right.
Why?
No, I am saying when we got it, I was there at the opening, it was brand new.
Right. And
I'm saying, what has the powers that be, the village council, the people who are supposed to now nurture the youths? It ain't no Uncle Chuffy and Tanti Jean investing again, you know. It ain't no Miss Daphne investing again, you know.
Oh.
There are not people in the village that looking out for the young people who did their service and retired and willing now to parent, because a lot of young people in the village having children and they ain't even finished getting parents yet, but they became parents. So what it is a generation coming now that understanding, that lacking the understanding of what is right and what is wrong. And where do you start? Who do you reach out to? And that's the problem that we have in Trinidad. And it is what it is in Wesley. It is what it is.
So we can see that no time soon the country Bookie Wesley.
Well,
you can get the same band members who probably just go to Tobago on the beach.
I wouldn't, you see,
the Savannah up the road.
Things have become so difficult now. Like when you could have go to Lake Asphalt and say, let me do Lake Splash. The bureaucracy now attached to doing things so difficult that is very, it is not encouraging for you to try to do anything. Because I mean, when we do sports investing, you have money in that. I mean, even if you break even, you're okay. But now, if you try to do sports investing and you go to the courts and they say a police detail, you're going and pay $30,000 and $40,000 in police. Back in the days, that was unheard of.
Okay.
Back in the days, that was unheard of. You pay $1,500 in police, $2,000 in police, and you dance.
Right.
But no, it's not like that. Because I don't know if the police don't want you to work just like how the artists over here to hire them by setting them kind of crazy numbers. You know? No, I just say, but follow the logic.
Yeah, sure.
You don't know if they're just trying to outprice themselves for people not to have things, for incidents not to happen. You don't know. Because I mean, for Borough, it was ridiculous. You doing an old people fete, which is Liverpool / Frisco Junction, and you have to face the court with $30,000 in police and $8,000 in fire, which is $40,000 before you even sell one ticket. You know, that's so the game just, yeah, the game just weird.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So, but I would like to see something take place
in the village,
obviously. Because it don't want to be no big extravagant.
But what it is that the young people have to come up with whatever they think and come to us for support.
I have an idea for you.
Because they know what they want.
I have a good idea for you.
Right.
What about that after the camera cut?
Right.
Yeah, but they can't take my idea and run with it. Yeah. No. I go straight to the source that what the journalists do, right? Bedrock.
Right.
For Borody in Library.
Right.
Now it's closer.
Right.
Destiny Library, so I always believe it. I hope for here.
Right.
Why did they keep Bedrock there for Borody? Something to keep here. And for the #1 promoter in Trinidad and Tobago who live Destiny.
Right. So let me tell you what the gem in Destiny, right? Let me tell you what the gem in Destiny. The gem in Destiny is Destiny Beach Facility.
Right.
Right? That is a hub that if the powers that be utilizes it well, it could create a situation of revenue for the hustlers in the village. Right? I remember I used to do applications and get Destiny Beach Facility to use on numerous occasions through TDC. Because for me, Destiny Beach Facility is very personal. It's a legacy of my parents and my parents' involvement in politics. And a lot of people don't know that. And I will put it out there now. Two things. Three things, but I'm talking about two. That my parents were very instrumental in getting done. Was Destiny Beach Facilities and the Lake Asphalt, the Pitch Lake facility in Library. Right? I'm talking about Destiny Beach, because if you remember, Destiny Beach was well, you wouldn't know because you probably wasn't born as yet. But Destiny Beach was a road, a little track going down to nothing, to the sea. And when opportunities came for the building of the facility in the constituency of Library, when other places were clamoring to have it done in Palo Seco, in Losiro, in whatever, my parents stood with the MP at the time, which was a man called Ian Anthony, and made sure that that came to Destiny. So when you're applying for Bethany Beach, and because it's under the auspices now of the TDC, and they're making it difficult for people from Bethany, which were the people responsible for the facilities in the first place.
Right.
They're making it virtually impossible for you to get it to do what you want to do. How you could say Bethany getting something? The beach facility really should be like Maracas, where there are some sheds on the beach, where Gina could have one selling bacon shack. Somebody who making something in the village could have one selling Sunday lunch. Somebody could think at a nominal rent.
Right.
And somebody from Bethany should be the person responsible for the bar and the thing. And at the end of the day, you're not going to create a revenue because Gina getting she raw material from somebody in Bethany, somebody doing something. You create now an economic situation where people could benefit from the facility they had.
Right.
And that doesn't happen, and it has not been happening, and nobody has the vision to see it happen. And a couple of years ago, when I was trying to get involved with the politics, to bring some of the ideas forward, there was a fight. And I mean, when you see you're fighting for something that is of no financial benefit for you, and you're getting a different kind of wrestle, better you wrestle for something that has a financial benefit for you. And that's what happened. So I just kind of rock back and allow the powers to be to do their thing. And I mean, it is what it is in Bethany now.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
We could go on whole night.
We could go on all night.
But this is the moment where Visa will come in and
Right.
give her 2 cents.
Well, it is. Well, Rick,
Right.
I want to say it's a pleasure having you here.
Right.
TeamViza TV. This is the love we always go with. You know, you just keep up the good work, and may God take you from strength to strength. And the sky is the limit. Alright? From ever since knowing you, you always stood out to me as somebody from the village, you know, respectable, honest, trustworthy, loving kind of person. You never hear Rick Davis in no fight or no big argument or they say he takes something from somebody what is not his own. You know, you always have that kind of respect in this village and abroad or wherever. I never hear nothing bad about Rick Davis. So I could stand here now and say, you just continue to shine and God will see you through for whatever. As I say again, the sky is the limit and your parents and them. You know, it's a family that everybody respect in this village. Your mom was my daughter teacher, and I could remember they had a farewell for her for leaving the school, and I say, you know what, Miss Davis teaching my daughter, you know, Brianna Fortune John, who's the older man right now, and I was like, she dedicating herself to the children of her class. And she was a loving person, a teacher that I could relate to or come by the house and talk with. And I say, you know what, if she leaving the school, you must give your daughter something to give this teacher. You know, money is not everything, but the love that she shared with my daughter, I had also take part and be the person to make sure that put a smile on your mom, this is mom's face. So I went and get something with like it's a bird with a beak. When they put it on the table, the wings spread out, but it's not falling. Now TeamViza have a wing, and that is what I choose for your mom, a bird. You know, just telling you. So when Brianna present this gift to her, she loved it. And I believe when she bring it home, everybody will love it. I don't know if you can remember, but I just joined this with you.
Plenty years
So yes, plenty years. So
Yeah.
it's a family that when I pass in, is love.
Yeah, man.
You understand? So, Davis, my wish for you today, and not only for today, is all what you wish yourself. I hope you get it and many, many more.
Yeah, man.
Alright? And feel free to be part of visiting TeamViza home.
Yeah, man.
You understand?
Yeah, man.
You don't need an invitation. Let's
hear
pass through.
I hear that.
Alright, so love in the house.
Love.
We appreciate you coming here tonight and just go with God guidance.
Give thanks.
Okay, don't cry there. Rick,
Yes.
Country Bookie Davis. Do you have any new members on that Country Bookie today that you would like to mention, shout out? This is your shout out segment here before we close off.
I told Country Bookie team, the committee, I don't want to highlight anybody because if I forget somebody, they'll kill me. But we have a nice running team and we continue to grow, both locally and internationally. But I had to mention my foreign-based team because they are the people that really kind of giving us the opportunity to cement ourselves in North America. So, Friends Promotion and Chum Nation, those are my business partners out there. I must give a special shout out to both of them. Especially my brethren Chum.
Yes.
Good youth.
Good youth.
Yeah, man.
Any questions for Rick before we go?
No, not really. I'm glad to know that they made it. I'm telling you because you come from strength to strength, you come from far. I know you from small. Your mother was a teacher of WRC. And she was a nice person, very nice, but persistent, fair to learn. And I know you may have got all your, I shouldn't say ideas, because that's not the right word. But I know you get all the inspiration and stuff
I love from
from your mother and your father. Your father was a man too, you know. I can't forget him.
Yeah.
So, may God bless you
Thank you.
and continue blessing you. You know?
In the industry, how much years would you say that you're in the industry today?
I would say about 32 or 33 years.
You did say I was young, I was almost. Since you're in the industry, 30 something years now, worst advice you ever get that stick with you today?
Worst advice? I don't know.
You know?
That one stop.
No, it doesn't really dwell on the bad too.
Yeah.
I mean, best advice you ever get since you're in the industry?
Yeah. The best advice was from Tony Chowlingon, who everybody knows Charlie's brother. You see, find what you love to do and figure out how it's going to pay you. So,
What is this TeamViza TV? I want to say thanks for being a part of this project. We gotta do a part 2, you know. We gotta do a part 2 because we have so much to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, I want to keep it here. We don't cross the time
I really
already.
appreciate the invitation, and I'm humbled to know that people paying attention to what we're doing. What you want to hear is something big, and I want you to, just like how I did, look at this as your period where you're paying your dues. Because something big is going to come out of this, you know, and stick to it. As young, especially black people, we get involved in things that we don't understand the powers that has been given to us by the upstairs, you know, and we look at it as, you know, we don't look at it with a serious eye. And you're onto something, and trust me, yeah, it has some big things in this video. So stick to it.
And come from the most himself. Right. Well, TeamViza TV is always close on a positive note. So this opportunity will give it, look into the camera, to send a positive message to somebody that would listen
So I'm gonna tell the young people in Trinidad. I want all you to understand something called passive income and multiple streams of income, because it's easy out here and you need to figure out how to survive and how to survive comfortable. Passive income is something called sleep money. You want to get involved in investments that you could go to the Bahamas and come back and meet checks waiting for you. So that is sleep money. And then you want to be involved in stuff that gives you multiple streams of income. With those two things, you go see your inside of the country, even though everybody's saying the place hard. Yeah.
You see sleep money?
Sleep money.
You see sleep money?
You have to have sleep money.
There we have it, guys. The man himself, Rick Country Bookie Davis.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get it correct, you know. Now to view this full episode, go subscribe to our YouTube channel at TeamViza TV. Follow us on Instagram at TeamViza_TV. For the latest update, Season 6, Episode 2, the Country Bookie story.
Yes, sir.
You're done.
Blessings.
Let's go, please, man. Thank you.